You are trapped in a room with a stranger who hates you. Your mind spins violent, dark webs, screaming lies until your chest feels heavy as stone. You think this darkness is who you are. But the fathers say, you are not the storm. You are the sky, watching it pass. The voice in your head is lying to you. It mimics your voice and knows your deepest fears, but it is not you. When dark thoughts loop endlessly in the night, claiming you are broken, do not be deceived. There is a sacred space between you and that noise. Imagine a vast, high sky holding a violent storm cloud. Does the sky become the storm? No, the sky remains untouched, vast, and free. You are the sky. The poisonous thought is merely weather. A deep part of you stands behind the panic, watching quietly. If you can observe the thought, you cannot be the thought. When a shadow whispers that you are worthless, do not argue with it. Simply watch it pass like smoke in a drafty room. But how do you find this silent watcher when the internal noise is deafening? The secret lies in a spiritual weapon you have forgotten how to wield. You are not the voice in your head. It sounds like you. It knows your secrets. And it speaks with your own tongue, but it is a stranger. Think of your mind as a machine that never sleeps. It creates. Just as your lungs draw breath without your permission, your brain generates noise, wild scenarios, and sudden terrors on autopilot. The danger comes when we believe the machine is the master. You lie awake in the cold glow of a screen, crushed by the weight of a deadline or a mistake from 10 years ago, thinking this pain is who you are. It is not. If you can observe the thought, if you can watch the fear rise up like smoke, then you cannot be the fear. You are the one watching. Deep beneath the chaotic surface, there is a holy wakefulness, an eye of the soul that remains untouched by the noise of traffic or the chaos of the news. You are the cliff, not the crashing wave. The intruder in your mind screams for attention, demanding you engage, argue, and panic. But what happens if you simply stand still and watch it pass? The greatest lie you have ever believed is that the voice in your head is you. It speaks constantly, filling the silence when the world goes dark. It judges, panics, and replays your failures on an endless loop. But the masters of the inner life saw a distinction that modern psychology often misses. The reasoning mind is simply a tool, an organ that processes data like a stomach processes food. But you are not your stomach, and you are not your brain. There is a deeper place within, an unshakable core that simply watches. This is the eye of the spirit. While the brain chatters, this deep heart remains silent, aware, and capable of seeing God. The enemy knows how your nature works. He hijacks your thoughts to create illusions, projecting nightmares within. He wants you to think these intruders are yours, to make you feel broken or insane. To engage with them, to argue with the noise, is to step into a trap. You must stand on a high balcony, watching a riot below. That is the distance you must keep. If you believe every thought, you are enslaved to a machine that has been hacked. But how do we ignore the riot? How do we stand in the fire and not burn? The most dangerous illusion is the belief that every voice in your head belongs to you. This lie keeps you awake while the world sleeps. You lie in the dark, and suddenly a vile thought pierces your chest, making you question your sanity. You recoil, thinking, "I am broken because I thought this." Listen closely. You are confusing the house with the thief trying to break in. If a stranger with mud on his boots knocks violently, are you responsible for his presence? No, you did not invite him, nor did you create the mud. The intruder in your mind works the same way. The enemy's trick is not the ugly thought, but the moment you sign your name to it. He wants you to believe, "I am this darkness," instead of, "I perceive this darkness." This distinction separates a free heart from a prison. When the poisonous thought comes, do not claim it. Do not invite the stranger in to ask why he is so cruel. If you answer the door, he wins. There is a way to witness the assault, yet never turn the handle. We must learn the art of holy indifference. Not every voice within your mind belongs to you. We suffer under the illusion that simply because a thought appears inside us, we must be its creator. But the ancient healers knew the truth. The mind is not a factory, but a receiver tuning into three very different signals. First, there is the noise of nature. Thoughts born of memory and biology, floating by like dust in a sunbeam, carrying no weight. Then, there are thoughts that descend like dew from above. When the divine speaks to the heart, there is never panic, only a sudden, unexplainable quiet that lifts the burden from your soul. But there is a third signal, the intruder that haunts the silence of the night. It comes to confuse, to accuse, and to break your spirit. These poisonous thoughts arrive with a physical heavying of the chest, a cold whisper telling you that you are hopeless or doomed. If a thought brings anxiety and despair, understand this clearly. It is not from you, and it is certainly not from God. You have identified the thief, but how do you stop him from crossing the threshold? You believe the voice screaming in your head is you. But what if you are merely a receiver for a signal from a distant, dark place? The static is deafening. It whispers in the night that you are broken and permanently lost. This is not anxiety. It is a broadcast. A holy hermit described the heart as a radio. The air is thick with invisible waves, and you are the operator. A low frequency carries poisonous thoughts and heavy malice. When you tune in, you catch the intruder's signal, sudden rage and cold despair. Because the reception is clear, you mistake this noise for your own soul. But you are not the station, you are only the listener. Stop listening to the station that hates you. You have the power to turn the dial. Shift to the channel of humility and holy wakefulness. Here the signal is pure. God does not shout over panic. He waits for you to find his frequency. The static is addictive and will try to pull you back. How do you steady your hand to find silence when the darkness knows your name? The most dangerous thief doesn't break down the door. He walks in wearing your clothes. Think of the last time you sat alone, bathed in the cold blue light of your screen, feeling the crushing weight of tomorrow settle in your chest. A thought crept in, soft and deadly. I am worthless. I am beyond saving. Stop right there and look at the words. If a stranger on the street screamed, "You are ugly," you would walk away. You would recognize it as an attack from the outside, a distinct and separate assault. But the dark spirits are cunning strategists. They know that if they say "you," your guard goes up. So they whisper, "I." They mimic the sound of your own inner voice, sliding past the gatekeeper of your mind like a spy with a forged passport. I am so tired. I hate who I have become. Because the sentence starts with "I," you believe you are the one speaking. You take ownership of a lie that was smuggled in from the outside. You accept the intruder as a roommate, believing his filth is your own furniture. But here's the terrifying, liberating truth. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one hearing it. Once you realize the call is coming from outside the house, the power shifts. But how do you evict a squatter who sounds exactly like you? The most dangerous liar you will ever meet is living inside your own head. It never starts as a scream. It begins as a shadow. A simple picture flashes while you sit in traffic, or a cold whisper finds you in the blue glow of your phone at midnight. It says, "You are a failure." Or it offers a dark, sweet fantasy to numb the crushing weight of tomorrow. This is the first knock at the door. Listen closely. This thought is not you. But here is where we break. We make the fatal mistake of opening the door to see who is knocking. We analyze the darkness. We ask, where did this come from? Or we try to argue with the voice, hoping to win a debate against a ghost. By engaging, you have already lost. If you stare at the intruder long enough, the conversation turns into consent, and the thought becomes a heavy chain that binds your heart. You cannot fight a fire by holding the flames in your hands. You must extinguish the spark before it touches the wood. The secret is not to win the argument, but to refuse to speak at all. But how do you find that silence when the noise of the world is deafening? You think you can outsmart the voice in your head, but you lose the moment you answer back. Imagine a stranger breaks into your home at night, holding a knife. Do you invite him to the table? Do you ask for logical reasons why he wants to kill you? No, you slam the door. Yet this is exactly what we do with the intruder in our minds. We sit paralyzed, debating with the darkness. We try to use logic to disassemble a lie never built on truth. Stop it. You cannot argue with a demon. He has been debating for thousands of years. Offer him a finger, and he will swallow your whole arm. The ancient saints command us to drop the conversation immediately. When the snake slithers onto the path, do not study its scales. Do not ask where it came from. You cut off its head. The second the poisonous thought arrives, before it becomes a story, you must turn away. It feels impossible, like ignoring a fire alarm in your chest. But engaging only feeds the flames. There is a silence louder than their screaming. To find it, you must drop the sword of your own intellect. You cannot fight a fire by throwing more wood onto it. Yet when the shadow creeps in, your first instinct is to argue with the whisper. But every moment spent analyzing the intruder feeds it your own lifeblood. You need a weapon that cuts, not a debate. There is an ancient sword, sharp enough to sever the chain that binds us. Do not engage the monster. If a venomous snake lands on your shoulder, you do not study its scales. You shake it off instantly. In the same way, when the poisonous thought knocks, do not answer. Replace it immediately with the name. Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. This is the King entering the battlefield of your mind. The dark spirits cannot stand this heat. They flee like insects from a torch. You do not empty your mind. You fill it with a presence so heavy that the lie is crushed by the truth. One breath, one plea. But one strike is rarely enough to win a war. The enemy waits for you to tire, for the silence to return. How do we turn this spark into a fire that never goes out? The moment you argue with a shadow, you have already made it real. You hear the whisper in the dark, the ugly suggestion that makes your stomach turn, and your instinct is to fight. You panic, you scream internally, "Leave me alone," or "I am not like that." But you have already lost. To the intruder in your mind, your fear is food. Your resistance is a bridge. By engaging, even to reject it, you invite the enemy to sit at your table and bargain for your soul. There is a weapon sharper than argument. Imagine a madman shouting at you from behind a thick pane of glass. Do you shout back? No. You simply watch his lips move, hearing nothing, feeling nothing. This is the art of holy indifference. Do not say, "Go away," for that admits the thought is there. The screen glows blue in your hand. The traffic roars outside, and the anxiety rises like a tide. Do not wrestle with the noise. Treat the thought like smoke. Do not wave it away. Just look through it. Let it float between you and the wall, weightless, transparent, and without meaning. Absolute indifference is the highest sword. But when you turn your eyes away from the darkness, where should they rest? The answer lies in the silence between your heartbeats. You fear the storm will drown you. These waves are the screaming regrets of yesterday and the crushing weight of tomorrow. It is a hurricane inside your skull. Remember the fishermen on the dark lake. The wind howled, pouring cold darkness into their wooden world. They panicked because their eyes were fixed on the chaos. They forgot the one sleeping in the stern. He was there the whole time. While the sky tore apart, the master slept. Your mind is that boat. The intruder tempts you to stare at the wind. It wants you to argue with poisonous thoughts, to bail out the ocean with a spoon. You cannot win that fight. Instead, you must descend. Drop from the noisy attic of the mind into the sanctuary of the chest. This is the eye of the storm. Here, Christ waits not with a sword, but with silence. He is the stillness behind the noise. He does not shout over thunder. He waits for you to cease screaming. When you sit at his feet, the outer storm means nothing. The waves crash, but the water cannot touch you here. you have found the anchor. Yet finding this place is simple. Remaining is the struggle. How do we bar the door against the wind? The loudest voice in your head is not yours. It waits for the silence, for the moment the blue light of your screen turns off and the heavy blanket of the night falls. You believe these dark whispers are your own soul speaking, proving that you are broken, evil, or lost. But you are mistaken. You are not the intruder in your mind. You are the house that endures the storm. Deep beneath the panic, beneath the fever of the soul, there is a place untouched by fear, where you are simply the beloved creation. An old saint once gave us the secret to survival in this war. He said that we cannot stop the wild birds from flying over our heads. The sky does not belong to us. But we must never, ever let them build a nest in our hair. Let the shadow of a thought pass like a cloud over the sun. Do not grab it. Do not argue with it. When you stop fighting the intruder and simply return your gaze to the light, the noise begins to starve. But how do we find that silence when the world is screaming? The answer is closer than your own breath.